Hi guys, just to give you a warning, I got extremely angry in this video. Now, the former editor of the Sun newspaper, Kelvin MacKenzie, spoke to fellow Tory Andrew Castle about the rise in universal credit payments, which was part of Chancellor Jeremy Hunt's autumn statement. Kelvin here said that he knows of a family living on universal credit, which are thieves, lazy ones at that. Now, this is typical Sun newspaper style of language, which is designed to divide people, to convince the working class that they should be angry with immigrants, for example, who have less than them, and to convince the middle class that they should be angry with the working class who have less than them, but never be angry with those who have more. Have a listen to this.
Yeah, morning.
That wasn't very Tory, was it?
It was shocking. A shocking Tory MP explaining why we should be grateful to be socialists. I mean, the truth about the matter is that I'm sure we were in the car, but let's face the fact that Rishi Sunak, as Chancellor, had one view. Then he had another view when he proselytised to become leader of the Conservative Party. And he had an even third view when he actually got into number 10. The thing is a shocker. And Jeremy Hunt, by the way, he has absolutely no chance of remaining as an MP in 2024 because they're splitting his constituency, and I'm sure that traditional Conservatives will be sitting on their hands.
This is a party that has been continually supported by the likes of the Sun. When Boris Johnson was doing X, the Sun supported him. When Boris Johnson was doing the opposite of X, the Sun was supporting him.
I don't know who that Tory MP knows as his, quotes, constituents, unquotes, but I can tell you that everybody who I would describe as a natural Tory, and I'm one, right?
What the hell is a natural Tory?
Are absolutely gobsmacked by the fact that we are once again being torn asunder, our pay packets, to fund the universal credit of our country. All right? I can make an exception.
We are a country of welfare capitalism, though, aren't we, Kelvin? Welfare. Yeah. We do look after people, and that costs money.
We have gone way beyond all that. Way beyond all that. I don't know whether you know, Andrew, anybody who's on universal credit. I know an entire family, a shocking collection of idle thieves, frankly.
Then why don't you report this to the DWP? If these people are abusing the system, then report it. Now, he's the former editor of a frigging newspaper, so obviously he has contacts within the government. He knows some journalists who are in constant contact with members of cabinet even. So surely he could report this to the DWP either directly or indirectly. And why is he not doing that? So he's claiming here that there's a family. He knows a family. He could even name and shame them, but he's not going to do that. You know, his paper is very happy to name and shame other individuals, but they won't name and shame this family, he's claiming, that is abusing the system. Obviously, he's saying that they're idle thieves. Thieves? He's not just saying that they're lazy, he's saying that they're stealing from the state. So if they're stealing from the state, it means that they're taking something that they're not entitled to. So if they're not entitled to it, then report it to the DWP. That is your duty as a citizen. Why are you not doing that, Kelvin? Is it because they don't exist? This is part of what I'm saying. Part of the problem of what I'm talking about. It's about creating a divide, convincing middle-class people, look, you're working and your taxes are going to fund these lazy people. Then people who are on universal credit or on benefits, they say, look, you're on universal credit, you're British, you deserve that. Look at these immigrants who are coming in and getting 5-star hotels and stuff like that. You should be angry about that. But you notice who they tell you never to be angry with. For example, the owners of these right-wing newspapers, people who don't pay tax in the United Kingdom, people who have non-dom status, people who have money in offshore bank accounts, be them in, I don't know, the Cayman Islands or wherever. They don't want you to be angry at them people. They want you to be angry with people who have less than you and are getting a bit of support. That's what it's all about. This family. Why doesn't he report it to the police or report it to the DWP? No, he's not doing it because they don't frigging exist.
Well, I'm not saying everybody on universal credit is. I'm saying the family that I know are. And there will be lots of middle-class listeners to your show today appalled by the fact.
And this is where it's frigging disgusting for me, and it makes me very angry. This guy is upper class. And what he's talking about is, well, there'll be a lot of middle-class people who are going to be angry. What he's doing is he's seeding division. This guy is probably a multimillionaire. He's not middle class. He's not affected by any of this. The people on universal credit getting a bit of extra money to survive, they're not becoming rich here. We're talking about people who haven't had increases in the last number of years, and now they're getting a small increase. We're talking about buttons just to survive. And what he's saying is, well, I have to be angry with that. This has zero impact on his life. But he wants middle-class people to be angry about it. He's no longer editor, but he's talking like as if he was the editor.
That the universal credit receivers are getting 10% hikes funded by their hard work.
But
we have seen an explosion in, quotes, illness, unquote, which means a whole load of people don't work.
Calm. I have to stay calm here. Now it's about pointing the finger at people who are unable to work. So first, it's point the finger at people who can work. In his eyes, this family who are lazy. Now we have to point the finger at people who are unable to work. These people who are claiming to be sick. Now, does he have evidence to back up his claim that there are people who are making false claims of illness? What evidence do you have to back that up? Now, his quote-unquote journalists have probably found, followed someone around and found one individual that maybe was pretending to be sick and was not sick. And then they go, oh, well, then we found an individual. Do these people exist? Yes, they do. Of course they do. But that requires the system to take into account for these people. But we know that the amount of benefit fraud is nothing compared to the amount of money that's lost in tax evasion and tax avoidance. Once again, it's about protecting the people at the top from the people in the middle and the people at the bottom. Convincing the people in the middle to be angry with the people at the bottom, and convincing the people at the bottom to be angry with, some phantom menace, the immigrants, people coming across the sea in rubber boats. Be angry with those people. Don't be angry with the non-doms. Don't be angry with former editors of newspapers who are multimillionaires. Don't be angry with them. Don't be angry with people who are, squirreling away money into offshore bank accounts so they don't pay tax in the United Kingdom. It's scumbag behavior. It's disgraceful. And it works. That's the problem. That's the fundamental problem here, is that people who buy the Sun newspaper will open it and they'll be like, oh, who am I supposed to be angry with today? Oh, I'm supposed to be angry with people on universal credit who are barely surviving. People who are on universal credit who are going to food banks. People who are on universal credit who can't pay their energy bills. That's who I'm supposed to be angry with. Thank you, Sun newspaper. Let me check. I can't wait for tomorrow for who I'm supposed to be angry with next. Oh, look, there's some boat people coming across the channel who have nothing, literally nothing, apart from the clothes on their back. I have to be angry with them as well, because the government doesn't have a frigging system to deal with them, so they're put up in hotels. And then I get angry with the hotel owners because they open up their hotels. When is this going to stop? When are people going to say, F you, I'm not going to buy your frigging newspaper. I'm not going to be made angry about people who have less than me. When are people going to say, F you, I'm going to be angry with the people who don't pay their taxes. I'm going to be angry with people who avoid paying tax. I'm going to be angry with the non-doms. I'm going to be angry with people who hide their money in offshore bank accounts. I'm going to be angry with people who are not affected by these things. I'm going to be angry with these propagandists, these newspapers that continually pour this bile out onto the onto the public, pour poison into people's ears. That's how I'm going to be angry with. And I'm going to be angry with the people who don't challenge them, who don't call them out, like Andrew Castle. Why isn't Andrew Castle saying, wait a minute, how does this affect you, Kelvin? Are you impacted in any way by this? No, you're not. Then shut the F up. I'm trying not to swear here, but it's difficult. Why aren't you asking, why are you angry with people who have nothing? Why are you angry with people who are struggling at the moment? Why aren't you angry with the wife of the Prime Minister who has investments in a company that's still operating in a country that's supposed to be sanctioned, who has non-dom status, or I don't know if she has ended that non-dom status. That it was a problem. Why did she have it in the first place? Why aren't you angry with those people? No, you're not. And I'm fine with that. And as Andrew Castle, because I'm ideologically supportive of that position. This went on a lot longer than I wanted, but I really had to attack this because I'm sick and tired of these people trying to divide ordinary people, trying to convince the middle class to be angry with the poorest in society, and trying to convince the poorest in society to be angry with somebody else, but never be angry with the people at the top. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think about all of this. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.